What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate Barnes here at the Forex University, and in this video I'm going to show you how to win the $100,000 FTMO challenge. Okay guys, so feel free to write notes, pause it, rewind it, whatever you got to do to get this strategy down, because I'm going to go over it in this whole entire video. Don't forget to smash that like button, and let's get started. All right, so let's get right into it. Okay, guys. So before I get into the strategy, I'm gonna just show you, how to actually sign up for FTMO, the challenge. All right. So you would literally just go to ftmo.com, and then it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Here's the evaluation process. You actually take two challenges. It's not one challenge. It's two. So if you scroll down, obviously you would highlight 100,000, and then you're gonna see the first challenge. Okay, so you have 30 days to acquire $10,000 in profit. You cannot risk more than $5,000 in losses in one day. Your maximum loss is $10,000. If you pass that in less than 30 days, you actually still have to be in the first challenge for at least 10 days minimum. Okay, once that happens, then you go over to they call it the verification process, right? And then you start over, you get another $100,000 demo account, and then you just need to profit $5,000 in 60 days. And then you actually have to be in this challenge for at least 10 days. Same parameters, $5,000 daily loss, and then maximum loss is 10,000. Okay. So I'm just gonna go into one of my newer challenges that I'm doing right now, just to kind of just being transparent, right? So you're gonna see here's my current results. I'm in day 4 of this challenge, okay? And then you're gonna notice that I have a balance of $3,265.38. So kind of like an upward trend because I'm using proper risk management. I'm not going over my max daily loss, and then my max loss is 599 bucks. Okay, so relatively on the, I guess, normal range. I wouldn't say it's conservative because I'm staying within that threshold. So these are all of my trades that I've taken so far. You can tell I've been in a lot of just a mix of everything, honestly. GU, JPY, GN, right? So I had a big loss just recently, so I sold GU and hit my stop loss. So right now it's just being a little wonky, but that's about it, right? Once you're in there, you can keep track of your max daily loss, your maximum losses in general. You'll see how many days you are in the challenge. You'll see right here in the upper right hand corner what day you started, and then when the challenge actually ends. And then all you got to do is once you actually sign up and pay, you'll get the login and password credentials, so that way you can kind of log into this, plug it into your MetaTrader 4, and then start trading. Okay, so let's hop into the strategy. All right, guys. Look at you, Jay. Actually, I don't think I actually got into this one, but oh well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull up GU, since that's the chart that's most top of mind, and I'm actually gonna delete this whole entire screen or drawings, and we'll start from scratch. Okay, so I'm gonna just start from scratch. I'm not gonna get into like intermediate or advanced. I'm gonna start with like support, resistance, trend lines really quick, and then I'll get into the strategy, so that way you guys can actually take advantage of it if you like it. If you do like it and appreciate the value that I'm giving away, then feel free to like and comment on it. It's just a way of thanking me, and I would really appreciate that. Anyways, so the daily, right? I'm in the daily time frame over here in the upper left hand corner. And then what I do to really just understand what's happening is I just go to the line chart. Okay, so right now, if you see the price is right here. So I just look for the vertices, right? The vertices are the little sharp points, and then I just mark it up, right? So typically on the daily time frame, I go to the reds. I draw red lines, and then and then I would go to the most common points. So right here, here's another common area. So I look for these, like, these little V's, right? These little V's. So I'm going to highlight them for you, just that way you can actually see it. Here goes one. Here goes another, and then here goes another one. So I look for at least 3 to identify a strong resistance area. And then I do the same thing with support. So again, you're going to see, got that. And it doesn't have to be dead on because we're on the daily, but the more accurate, the better, obviously. Um, and then over here, there goes a couple right here. That's actually 2, right? So I mean, it doesn't, you don't need to go all the way up here because price is super far away, right? Again, you're on the daily time frame. So it's not necessary to actually um, go that far into price. So that's support and resistance on the daily. I don't need to look for the wicks. I don't need to look for, any kind of special price areas. I just look for common areas, looking for the little pointy parts. All right, so the next part, I would hop into the 4-hour, and then I would just take out my candles. Same thing, I would kind of zoom out a little bit just to find some common areas. And what I do now is I do the same thing. I don't overdo it, but again, it's really important to look for common areas. So right here, that's a common area. And every time I change the time frame, which is the 4-hour now, I go from dark to light. So red is daily, 4-hour is orange, and then sometimes I go into the 1-hour. It's very rare, but I just typically stay in the daily and the 4-hour. So here goes a common area, and then here goes another. Not really. Let's say this one right here. Okay. So that's it. I don't want to overdo it. Now I have a good area of price action areas. And so now if I get a little bit more granular, I can go into the 1-hour, kind of zoom out a little bit and look for break and retest. Okay. But before I go into that, you can do one more step, which is the trend lines, right? So right here, I kind of see something going on right here, right? And then that's it. So let's get a little bit more granular. Let's stay in the 4-hour. And then what I typically look for are like break and retests. So a break and retest is when it like dramatically shoots out of a major resistance or support area, right? So if I kind of expand this a little bit, you're going to see that here is a big shootout, right? So break, retest, and then a continuation, right? So I'm kind of eyeballing this. I know I'm kind of freestyling right now, so it's not the best example, but we're just going to do it. So right here goes a solid break and retest, right? So you're going to see that price broke out of that daily, okay? And then it retested on the daily, and it's now it's having a hard time breaking below. So the resistance is now the new support, and then I would get in for an entry around here, the support area, for continuation to either the next price action area or the last high, right? So I look left, and then obviously that would be my indicator to take a profit, right? So these lines that you just drew up, right, on the daily and the 4-hour are your take profit areas, okay? So if I count them up, let's do the simple break and retest. So here is the break, right? Broke out. You don't want to enter right here because it broke, because there's always going to be a retest majority of the time. And then I got into, oops, let me get rid of that. I got into a long, right? A buy position right around here. So I would buy probably like right here. And then let's count up how many pips that is to the next price action area. Okay. Oh. So right there doesn't seem like a lot, but we're on the 4-hour. So we're looking at a 92 pip movement to the upside. Okay. Stop loss, I typically like 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 ratios. Since this is the 4-hour time frame, I want to keep it closer to like the 1-to-1, 1.5-to-1. You can see that price broke down a little bit lower and then continue to go up. But this is the initial break and retest. Sometimes it'll bounce a couple of times before the initial move, but this is the entry that you want to kind of hovering, right? So let me just highlight this for you. And what I do is I draw a rectangle just to really highlight that zone. Okay, so this looks like a good zone. I would say like right here, because you don't have to enter exactly on that line, right? Like as long as you're entering within the zone, then you're most optimal for what the heck is going on right now? Okay, my phone is ringing. Okay, cool. So right here, this is the zone, and then it would break out all the way up to the next price action areas. You can take it from price action to price action, and you see how clean those moves are, right? So if you were to do another break and retest, it would be this zone right here, okay? So we obviously see some resistance, okay? And what did it do? Price broke out. Didn't necessarily retest too hard. It didn't break out crazy, but it went up into the zone. It retested around here, this area, and then next price action area. So that would have been my entry for a buy position. So I would have bought right here, and then I would have took it all the way to this area for 233 pips. Sheesh. Put the stop loss, a little bit below the median, right? So this risk to reward ratio is a lot better. Obviously, this one's gonna take a lot longer than shorter trades, but that's pretty much what I do. So we can do another one just so I can show you an example of a break and retest. So let me reset my chart. You're gonna see that we have this is a nice one right here. Okay, so zooming out, this looks like a bigger break and retest. So where do you guys see the break and retest? Where do you guys see it? I can definitely see it. So here's the break. It broke from the high below that daily support, and then it retested right here, because now it's having a hard time going back above that daily resistance. So my entry would have been right here, and then I would have shorted this to the next price action area or the zone. So if I get rid of this zone, oops, let me get rid of this really quick. Let me get rid of this too. So here's my 4-hour price action area. So let's count them up now. So this would have been in my short position. I would have put my stop loss before, right above the highest wick. Okay, so 72 pip stop loss. And then this would have been a 209 pip movement to the next price action area, right? So with $100,000, right, now you got to like really understand like proper risk management so you don't go over your daily max loss, 5,000, okay? So guys, if you guys aren't familiar with, risk management, it's really simple. You would simply go to my FX book, and they have a lot size calculator. Some people use baby pips, right? But just go to my FX book, go to home, and then Forex calculators, and then click on position size calculator, okay? So I do 1.5% or 2% depending on how confident I am. That's all you need, okay? So let's just do 1.5 of the $100,000 challenge, because you have $100,000 in currency in your, right? And then now this is how you have an accurate amount of pips that you're going to be controlling on that loss. So going back to the chart, right, I set a 72 pip stop loss, okay? So it was 72 and some change, so I'm just going to do 73. The contract size is always 100,000. That pretty much means like a standard. And then I just go to the pair that I'm trading, okay? So don't skip this part. Literally do not skip this part, because this is going to help you stay in the game to actually win this challenge, right? Because if you're over leveraging and hoping to, make a $7,000 trade, right? What if it goes the other way? Now you're out of the challenge and you're essentially unhappy because you didn't get funded. So right here, once you hit calculate, it's gonna spit out the lots, right? So $2 and 2.05 is your lot size. So let's count that up. I'm gonna pull out my calculator and let's do the amount of pips that we can potentially gain. So 209, so 209, and the standard lot is 2, right? So if you multiply that by 10, that's on average how much a standard is worth, right? So 209 times 20 is about 4 grand. So on this trade, right, it took about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 3.5 days for it to hit the profit, and you would have made $4,000 on one trade. Okay, so now you're at 4%. You took your account from 100 grand to 104,000, and you only have 6 more thousand to go. Okay, you can scale down and trade a lot more frequent, right? Like let's say smaller lot sizes, you could do like a standard or point 0.5 or whatever, but there's no rush, right? The break and retest strategy is scalable on the 1 hour time frame. Oops, let me reset this chart really quick. The 1 hour, the 4 hour, and then also the daily. So I showed you an example on the 4 hour. Not the cleanest breaks, but they still worked. So here was the first one. Here's the break. Then here's the retest. And then it moved up to the next price action area. This was more of a break on the daily because obviously there's more time involved with this one. And then the same thing, it broke below your resistance area, retested, had a hard time breaking above again. So that's my entry. And then boom, you write it down to the next price action area, right? If you do see a break and retest that kind of breaks a trend, then all you would look for is something like this. It breaks below, then it'll probably retest back near the trend line. And if it has a hard time going back inside the trend, then you want to sell off to the next price action area again. Okay, oops. So it looked like that. Your entry would be right around here. And then you would take it down to the next price action area, which would be, this is your entry. Here, this is the actual most recent, right? And then you put your stop loss against the next highest wick. So this is 1-to-1, 74 pips to the downside. Next profit take level is 171 pips. Since it broke and retested, we're no longer in a bullish channel. So you can get more aggressive and put your profit levels to the second price action area. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I know that was really quick, but it's really simple. So let's do a quick recap. Delete my drawings. You start off in the daily, and then you go to the line chart right here. You look for pointy objects, right? Closest to the price action. Okay. Daily is red, dark to light. Don't go too far outside of price because it's not necessary, right, guys? So we got this. Go into the 4 hour now. And then go ahead and switch to candles. Look for some common areas. Same thing. We got that. Mark it orange because it's 4 hour. Another one. Right about, where you guys think? Right here? Yep, right there. And then now you can find a trend if it's necessary. So we found a trend as well. Pretty clean, actually, in my opinion. And then let's just identify break and retest. So here's a zone that I want to draw out for you guys. This is the most recent break and retest right here. So broke below that price action area. What is it doing? It's retesting. And where do you think it's going to go? It's going to go down here, right? That is the break and retest strategy, okay? There's a million strategies out there. Forget all the noise, right? Do one thing and one thing only, because you don't need to be right on a trade 80% of the time. If you have at least 55% winning ratio and you use your risk management, you're going to make money, okay? Um, but if you're not using risk management and you're trying all these crazy indicators and all that, and putting in multiple strategies to hopefully make it better, you're just going to be confused and distracted, honestly. So get off of Instagram, stick to one thing, try it out for a month. And if you see results, stick to it. If it's too hard to comprehend, or if you don't like it, try something else. But this is what I've been using in the last 3 years. It's been working for me. Obviously, I don't win every single time. Sometimes I have a bad a couple of weeks, but overall, I am up and to the right, and I'm making money in the Forex markets. Okay, so if you see value in this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I also have other information in the comments below, so in the descriptions. So feel free to join the free Slack group and the community, so you can actually be with a community full of traders and make money, catch some pips, guys. Nate Barnes signing out with Forex University.